everyone, back today with another video, and today I wanted to talk about this book, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you have seen all the books I've read in March, then you'll probably already seen a little review about this book, but I still wanted to have a separate book review just because it deserves it. It's a really good book. These are some palpable pages for sure. It's one of my favorite books I probably ever read in my life, and it's gonna be now in my top 5 favorite books of all time list. I can't really give you a clear reason why, other than just I think mostly because of how maybe it's biased because I love the beach so much and surfing and ocean and waves, and the main character, I identify with her for a lot of reasons, but I feel like there's so many characters in the book, it's really hard not to identify with one of the characters in some way, or see things about yourself in them. And I feel like that's true for a lot of books. The author always wants to write a character that's relatable and that appeals to you, the reader. And so she does a great job at doing this, about making her relatable. I feel like when you go to a comedy show, it's really annoying when you see a comedian that's just like trying so hard, or they're just being so cocky, and like it's not that enjoyable. But then when you see someone like Steve Trevino, I really enjoy his comedy shows because he's just being himself, and also he's so relatable. Like, that's what I enjoy about him, and that's what I enjoyed about this book the most, other than beach vibes, other than like the appeal of like the glam behind a lot of the characters. I really felt like this book was so relatable in so many ways. This book is about the Riva family. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. R-I-V-A, Riva. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Riva family is a very glamorous family, but they weren't always. And of course, no one that's glamorous was like born glamorous. It's something that they grow into. And so you get to see in this book how these characters come from humble beginnings, and how they grow into like the best version of themselves, and despite having people guide them there. And I feel like that's true for most people in the world. Most people in the world, you don't have someone that's just going to hold your hand and give you the answers and show you how to be your best self. You make the wrong decisions, you do things that are terrible, and in this book you can see some of the characters have opportunity time and time again to get it right, and sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. And I really enjoyed that each one of these characters, even though they had terrible choices and missteps, they still, in the end, found the way to be in their best self. That's enjoyable. I would have to say, if I compared this to any other story in the world, of course, Blue Crush, and that has nothing to do with the surfer part of it. I mean, Blue Crush, if you've seen the movie, it's a surfer movie, yes, but the main character and her struggles is like very relatable to what Nina, the main character in this book, deals with. And also, if you've been born in the 90s or before that, if you've ever heard of or seen the movie Can't Hardly Wait, I used to really love that movie. It's about this one epic night, and the whole movie is about this one night, this one party, and Jennifer Love Hewitt is in that movie. This book is similar because it all revolves around this one epic night. This one party that has a lot of glamorous people that attend, and this party that goes a little too far. Things get out of hand, and then this one epic party becomes something that impacts the entire city of Malibu in a very big way. You'll see why when you read it. I don't want to give spoilers, but I will say that what happens at this party, it brings out a lot of emotions. It's a whirlwind roller coaster of things. What happens, like how it begins, is not how it ends. Each character at the party walks away changed. That's a big deal. And I feel like moments can definitely change a person. Like, what made you who you are? Is it this moment, this moment, this moment? Like, what, if you were to think about in your life, what event happened that made you who you are? I feel like a lot of those events happened in this one night in this book. And I feel like if you told me that the entire book revolves around one night, would I be interested? I didn't know that reading it, but like if you watch the movie The Purge, the whole movie revolves around one night, especially the first movie. And that one night, a lot of things happened. So I'm like, this is in no way like The Purge in any way. It's not a thriller. It's not like that. But the whole book revolves around one night, and it is still very epic, even though it's one night. But throughout that night, the main character or characters, they get flashbacks. So you get to see, like, it does paint a picture. It says, I think you can see here, it says like 1 p.m. So it gives you a timeline to paint a clear picture of like the day as it goes on, beginning to end. But also, it gives you flashbacks to understand the characters more. You get flashbacks into their childhood. So enough build up. Let's talk about the characters. Nina Riva is the main character. She's the eldest sibling out of 4 kids in the family, and second in line is Jay, and then there's Hud and Kit. The parents are Mick Riva and June, and I feel like I love them together, but there's some very tragic events that happen in the book, and it's very sad and devastating, and I feel like that really pulls you into the book, seeing that you know, the family at its greatest point, like you could have had it all, and that feeling's terrible. It's like you could have had it all, and that's so frustrating when it doesn't work out, and then you see why, and then you see the effect, the ripple effect it has on every character in their lives, this tragic event, and how choices could have just made everything so simple and changed everything in a better way, but it doesn't always work out that way. But despite these tragic events that happened, the main character, Nina, really has to shoulder the burden of becoming the matriarch of her family and caring for her other siblings. And she does a fantastic job. She stumbles, but she does a great job. And she sacrifices. And then she somehow still manages to become a supermodel and surfer and famous herself. Her father is Mick Riva, who I can't think of, like, in real life, there's a singer, Neil Diamond. Is that him? Neil Diamond. Okay, Mick Riva is comparable to, like, our Neil Diamond. Like, he's famous. People know him for love songs, and he's, you know, renowned over time to, like, who completely, without reinventing himself, carry on his music that people love and stay true to who he is. But Mick Riva, his family resents his fame because they're in the shadow of it, and it impacts his life in so many ways and his choices. So that being said, even though he's like this epic love singer, he has a very messy love life, saying it lightly. Nina, you see that she has this journey to find herself and be true to herself and still, like, carry this burden that she's had to carry, the memories and the pain, and then moving forward to be strong for her family. And then Jay is still like this epic, amazing surfer who's very passionate. And then the third in line, Hud, he is a photographer and he enjoys what he does, and he's also very passionate. And each character is so different, but they're all true to, like, the character molds of being the middle child, the youngest, the oldest. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid does a wonderful job painting that picture of family dynamics together and their relationship together. And then there's Kit, the youngest, who's also the most feisty, that also is trying to also find herself and wants to be like her sister in many ways. Like, she wants to be a surfer and she's really good at it. So those are the 4 siblings. Those are the parents. And this party, imagine having a party in real life with, like, Andy Roddick and Serena Williams, and but also having Tom Brady and Angelina Jolie and Kate Hudson and Giselle Bundchen and all these famous people that are glamorous, all at this one party on this one same night. And imagine how epic that would be, what stories would happen, and what would, you know, the drama between the characters, because that's essentially what happens here. Taylor Jenkins Reid, she really likes to write about glamorous people and stories that are interesting that you want to read, that entice you. But I feel like she does a great job about also writing about humble beginnings that are relatable and stories that are relatable, because in the end, glam and fame away, like people are just people, and they still have the same life experiences that you do in every single aspect of your life. Like they have pain, suffering, happiness, sadness. They have joyful moments. They have relationships, friendships, and people at the end of the day are just people. And so she has a really interesting way of writing about glamorous people as like seeing them for who they really are instead of just the glam. But also, I feel like the ending of this book is so good, and I really like that the characters all found their truest versions of themselves through the book. And then also is a very epic night and a very meaningful epic night for the city of Malibu. Like, it's a very good book. I enjoyed reading it. I wish there was a number two and like the story could just continue on because I really liked the characters. You get attached to the characters and their stories. And if you have not read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, you should dive into one because she does a fantastic job about, like I said, developing her characters. It's not necessarily a thriller. You're not like scared or sitting on the edge of your seat. Like you're attached to the characters, and she is good about writing about relationships between people. Like I enjoy that. I enjoy reading that. I did not expect to like this book as much as I did, but I love it, and I feel like this is her best book, honestly. Daisy Jones and the Six was wonderful. I feel like she is known for a lot of things, but this one's my favorite. So if you guys have time to spare, 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, give it a peek. If you don't want to buy it, you can get it on Kindle. Yes, that's my spill. I could go on and on and on about this book. I can rave about it forever. I even have like sticky notes about it. Anyways, that's that. If you guys haven't already, like and subscribe my channel, and I hope you come back for my next book review.